Hello, everyone. Grandma Lois is in the mood to talk a little while. You never know what I'm going to do next, and I don't either. But I thought, well, it's only 11 o'clock or a little after, so I thought I'd visit with y'all a little while. And I asked my phone, what would be a good Friday morning verse? And guess what? My phone tells me. And so it said Psalms 90:14. Satisfy us in the morning with your unfailing love, that we may sing for joy and be glad all our days. And you know, we have to live each day at a time in joy, because this, who knows when it's going to end, especially when you're 91. But I'm enjoying my life. And this morning, we went down to the thrift store, and I found a couple of books, and that makes me happy. One of them is called Hope. I'm going to turn this light on. Maybe it won't hurt anything. Oh, yeah, you can still see me. You can still see me. The name of it is Children of Hope by Vernon Brewer. And I just cracked it open. And I thought, this book looks fascinating. So I'm going to be reading it. And then I found another one. Yeah, these are free. Down at the Methodist thrift store, all the religious books that people turn in. This one is 24 Hours That Changed the World. And it looks interesting. And he was a pastor, it said on the back, for many years of a Methodist church. And I bet that's good. So I'm going to read it too. I try to keep my mind occupied and busy. I don't like to get bored. And I'm not bored today at all. I'm sitting here in my chair, just relaxing. Can I talk as slow as Granny Pat? Not really. I just get her done. So today is Friday. The 2 more Fridays for Lent. I like this scarf. Somebody gave me this scarf. People give me scarves and I love them. Anyway, we're Friday night down at the Knights of Columbus. Seafood supper again. I'm going to get it. Lord willing. You know, we say, us old-time Pentecostals say, Lord willing, which because we don't know how long we're going to be around here. I like sitting here in my chair. It is so comfortable to talk to y'all from right here. And this is my second cup of McDonald's coffee, because we went, I tell you what, we've been on a wild goose chase this morning to find some yard sales. It was 42 degrees out. So I got out at this one place, and she had a bunch of scarves, 50 cents each, warm scarves. I bought 2 of them. I put one around my head and the other one around my shoulder because they were big, 50 cents each. And I got 2. And I just wrapped them around me. And then we went to another place, and it was really going to be Saturday. It didn't make it clear that it was going to be Saturday. This is Friday. So that was another wild goose chase. And then we went down to the thrift store, and I got these 2 books. But I really like those 2 50-cent scarves I got. I'm going to be wearing them. And I'm feeling good today. My leg is still doing good, and I'm thanking the Lord. I do keep a support, support hose on that one leg, because it does have a varicose vein in it that pops out sometimes. So I'm just wearing a support hose, and it makes it feel good. Well, it feels good anyway, so thank you, Jesus. So I was looking at some of my other friends on YouTube, and I see that living in Kentucky with, Kentucky Living with Debbie has finally told the last story, the number 2 on her adoption of her girl. And so I have to watch that later. I get so interested in what some of these people are talking about that I barely have time to talk myself. But I'm doing it this morning. James is at the office, and he's busy doing something. It is so nice that the office is close by, that he can go spend time there and get out from under my feet while I cut a video. Because yesterday he came in and cut me short, and I was not done. I don't know what else I wanted to say. But I was thinking yesterday how the Lord fights our battles. and how we can trust him to go before us and make the crooked places straight, like he did at this place where I got my Doppler did, and how that all worked out so good. And all I have to do is wear a little support, but I wear support anyway for that leg. I have for a long time, off and on. But now I'm doing it so that, make sure that, see what that does is that keeps your blood flowing good. But that guy said my blood was flowing good anyway, so it's doing good anyway. I keep thinking, Lord, thank you for healing me. So I was thinking about all the battles that the Lord has fought for me. And I'm going to tell you about one that I thought was so outstanding, and you may have heard it, especially my two brothers, because they follow everything I talk about. And I have told this before, but when I looked out the other day and saw that big old garbage receptacle that they moved for me, I'm nobody, you know? That's what you feel like. But we try even when we're just like a little nobody. So anyway, we moved in to my house, which was here, and there is a big apartment complex next to me. And they've always been real nice, except this one woman took over to run it. And she moved the garbage disposal thing where they could put all their garbage right by my window. And that summer, flies were really bad. And you would like to leave your window open a little and your screen door, and well, when you went in and out, the flies could get in as faster than you did. And I fought flies that summer, and I called her and I asked her if she'd move it, and she said, no way, Jose. No, she didn't say no way, Jose. She just said no way. No, that's where it is, and that's where it's going to stay. Don't worry about it. Well, it was awful. I said, ma'am, it's so bad. So I called the health department. I did everything I knew to try to get that moved, and she wouldn't do it. So I said, okay, I just have to live with it. But you know what happened? She had that job. Her husband was the son of one of the wealthiest women in this town back then. And this has been, oh gosh, 30 years ago. I've lived here since 1963. And her husband was the son of Cora Jacobs, who built subdivisions and did all kinds of things. So she was boss of this apartment complex, and she could do anything she wanted. She was the queen of the apartment complex. So anyway, what I found out later, now I was here when they built that apartment complex. There was 3 empty acres next to where I bought. And we watched them build those apartments. And each of the apartments has like 25 apartments in it. Fact is, one of my daughters lived in, they have some 3-bedroom apartments. And Kathy, before she moved to New Jersey, her and her husband and her kids lived down over the hill next door, which was handy. And her oldest daughter, Sarah Beth, who is now past 40, so you know it's been a long time ago. Well, I was dog grooming at that time, and Kathy was dog grooming, and Sarah Beth would come with her. She's about 4 or 5 years old. Cutest little old girl you ever saw, black-headed and just lovely. I just love Sarah Beth. I called her Sarah Beth all the time. And she's the one that helped me get my hearing aid. She's the one that works for that company, Octacon, that my hearing aids are from. They really run $7,000. And because she works for them, anybody in her family, cousins, relatives, grandmas, can get them much, much lower for like $600. And I've got them, and they sure do work. And she helped me get them because she's been working for them for several years. Sarah Beth is a go-getter on that. But Sarah Beth would come over when her mother was grooming. Kim, baby daughter, and Kathy, we had 3 tables running, doing dogs. Small dogs. We never did do the big dogs. We did the little dogs. And we did good. And so Sarah Beth would come over with her and play around and stay, because we just worked usually till 1 o'clock and we was done. So one day we put our money in a certain place, And one day we was hunting for our money, and our money was gone. I said, did you, who got our money? Our money is gone. What you, Kathy, did you care? No, Kim didn't get it. Sarah Beth was about 4 or 5 years old, and she had a little pocket in her dress. And Kathy checked her pocket, and there was all our grooming money. Sarah Beth had just kind of took it home with her. Well, we retrieved it. Well, you know, good money. Sarah Beth is very saving to this day. She did not get to keep that. Really, she is. Fact is, she moved out. She still lives with her parents. And she moved out one time about 2 years ago. Nice little apartment up in New Jersey. She showed it to us on, you know, she sent us videos, and it was nice. It was in a basement, but the rent was reasonable. So Sarah moved out. Finally, she was on her own, because Kathy has a 3-bedroom apartment where she lives, and her and Richard bought that after they moved to New Jersey, and it's a nice apartment and in a big apartment complex, condos, a downstairs apartment. So anyhow, Sarah moved out into this basement, and she lived there over a year, I think. And do you know, they raised that rent so much she couldn't afford it anymore. That was when everybody was raising their rent, and the rent here in Indiana, I mean, it boomeranged. It went up so high. Houses went up for rental houses, rental apartments, and that's the way it is, I think, everywhere now. So Sarah Beth had to move back home, and she's been there ever since. And she's been looking for another place, and there is just nothing available that she feels like she can afford. So there she is with Mom and Dad. And you know what? She's bossy like me. Now, Kathy's easy going. Her mother's easy going. So whatever Sarah wants, Sarah gets. And she's always been Daddy's little princess. And that's a fact. She is Richard's little princess, and she's still his princess, and she's a sweet girl. She works in a church with the young people, and is very good with children and young children. But now I guess, when I tell you what, I met somebody recently, and he texts me back and forth, and you know, I got his phone number, and I talked to him on the phone, and he's 55 years old. And I said, I got a granddaughter. You know, maybe I already introduced to you, because he used to live in New York. And I said, no, I changed my mind. She's too bossy. You don't want her. You need to find a woman, because he's not married, that is more easygoing, because Sarah's going to run the show. me and James, you know, yesterday I made a misword. I called James Buddy. Well, now, Buddy and James both are so much alike in personality and gentleness and kindness that God just sent me another wonderful husband that was a lot like Buddy. And sometimes I accidentally call him. But then I do that with Kathy and Karen and Kim. I call them the wrong name, so y'all excuse me. But it was James and I talking yesterday, and it was James and I talking this morning. And he said, we was talking about somebody that are married, and he said, well, I have a feeling, he says, that woman wears the pants in that family. I said, well, James, I've been married 3 times, and this is the first time I haven't had to wear the pants, because I had to wear the pants in my first 2 marriages, because they didn't get anything done. If I needed something done, I had to hire it done, or else get on the roof and do it myself, which I have patched the roof when it was leaking, when I had to. And who mowed the yard? Well, we didn't have a real big yard, but guess who mowed it most of the time? Me. I got me one of them lawnmowers that pulls itself. Let me tell you something about that. Well, that's been many years ago. It's a mistake. When them things take off, you got to take off with them, and it's hard turning a corner. Well, so you know what I did with it? I put it down front, and I put it up for sale, and got me just a regular small little push mower that I had before. That was a mistake. I've made a few mistakes, but anyhow, I told James I had to wear the pants in my first 2 marriages. I said, this is the first time that I have not had to wear the pants, and you get things done. He trimmed a tree up for me. Now he's knocking on the door. He trimmed a tree up for me this week. He fixed my garage door. He's just doing things around here. He said, but sometimes you wear the pants. I said, not very often, you don't let me. So we had that discussion. So I'm glad to have a husband that wears the pants. He gets things done. And I had never had that before because I always had to make the decisions of what we do, this or that, or buy a house, or trade a house. And I'm the one who took care of all that. I don't have to do that now. The Lord has given me a long vacation, and I thank Him for it. Now there comes the man that wears the pants right now. Good morning, John. Good morning, James. Good morning, honey. So there he is, the one that wears the pants. Let's see if I can get him here. There he is. He's coming in. I had Hannity on, so maybe we'll finish watching Hannity. I don't know, whatever he wants to do. It's getting up close to lunchtime, and we're going to get that seafood dinner tonight. We're looking forward to that. I made a mistake last week and said the fish dinner, and I didn't get any shrimp or stuff. Everything, all it was fish and potato. And I'm not going to make that mistake this week. I like the shrimp and everything that goes with it. So that's what we're going to do this week. So God bless y'all. Walk that path where Jesus would be pleased with you. Good talking to you. Catch you later. I was in the mood to chit-chat today. And that Granny Pat's doing good. Bless her heart. And Becky told that story. Not Becky. Debbie. I have a granddaughter named Becky, and she's getting ready to have a baby up in New Jersey. It's going to be a little girl. I think it's coming in August. Anyway, she put a thing, I'm going to tell you this before I go. She put this thing on Amazon, the things that she wants for the baby. I mean, she's asking for things she'll never need. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait till that baby is born, and then I will send her some money, and then she will know what she really needs. And I don't know what if she gets all that other stuff, or even part of it, she's going to have so much stuff it'll fill up her house. She got to leave room for the baby, but I'm just going to send her some cash. And then she will need a lot of diapers and things. And it looks like, excuse me, my eyes, it looks like that Grandma Kathy, who is 70, will be babysitting, because babysitting has went up till you can't afford it. So Kathy is going to be helping raise that baby, but she'll love it. I mean, what else has Kathy got to do but take care of Richard? Sarah's there. Sarah still lives with her family, so she'll help take care of that baby evenings or whatever too, or on weekends, whatever. They'll all pitch in and do it together. That's family, but they're in New Jersey, and I don't get to see them except on Facebook. And they probably won't come to family reunion this year, so I probably won't get to see them. But God is good all the time. Love you. Talk to you later. God bless you.